Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take two random characters, combine them using the genetically modified Overkill mod, grab a random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. As always, of course, let's pick our characters using the wheel, so we're gonna see what characters we get now. And we have... it looks like... the Golem. Okay, Golem, of course, we can't heal, so we're going to need a pairing that will allow us to clear enemies, otherwise this could be a very difficult run. And we're combining that with the Renegade. So that should be a lot of attacks. Now, the way that the Renegade works, we will, because this is the GMO mod and the Golem has some melee weapons available, the Renegade can only equip ranged weapons, and so if we roll a melee weapon, I will probably just re-roll until we get a ranged weapon. Actually, what I'll do is I'll go with one melee weapon, and we'll just get whatever the first ranged weapon we find is. So let's see what we've got. Okay, well, we've got Icicle. Icicle with the extra shots from the Renegade is going to be pretty good. This is going to be a very powerful combo, I think. Golem is a good character when you have enough damage to keep it alive, and Renegade, of course, does tons of damage, so I think this combination is going to be extremely strong. I should have moved there so that I lined up my attack with the enemies that were coming in. The fact that I didn't made that a little bit more difficult. Let's go ahead and reroll, and nothing here prevents use of harvesting, so we're going to go ahead and pick up 5 harvesting here. The Golem, of course, can't heal, but gets extra HP and armor, and gets bonus attack speed and move speed when you go down to a low health threshold. And the Renegade gets extra attacks and extra piercing, so extra projectiles from every ranged attack, but has minus 80% starting damage, which then gets increased by 2% for every unique level 1 item that you buy. So an item like this Gentle Alien is going to be great for us because it's going to help offset this damage penalty as quickly as possible, which is going to be very important. I'm going to reroll there. The Gummy Berserker is actually worth considering because attack speed is really good, but it's not good enough to lock this early in the game. I think I also won't lock the Broken Mouth or the Helmet because I'm really looking for economy items from these early shops. It can be kind of difficult to play this run on Abyssal Terrors, because with the Renegade on this map, the Mantis Shrimp have damage reduction that can make it very difficult for the Renegade to actually get kills in the early game, because we just don't have the damage to kill things. The fact that we have high critical chance, though, does mean that we are able to land critical hits, and those will do at least 2 damage, which is very important. We'll take 5 more harvesting here, and then we'll take another Icicle, and then reroll, lock another Icicle. Tentacle is kind of interesting because it does give us crit chance, but of course the healing from the Tentacle we can't use because we're the Golem. So I think we will pass on the Tentacle for now. It's a fairly inefficient way to buy crit chance. With the Golem, you do want to deliberately take damage to drop yourself down to half health and get the attack speed buff, but it can be pretty difficult to do that early on. I am going to kill this Gobbler, because it's going to eat all my materials otherwise. There we go. At least this... okay, nice. And we were able to get the attack speed buff. So we'll probably get, like, 1 more enemy kill because of that, which is nice. Ended up with 108 materials here. We'll take 5 harvesting, and then I'm going to do a quick reroll. And do I want attack speed or crit chance or to roll again? I think I'm just going to roll again, and we'll take 10 luck, because that will let me get higher level ups. We don't actually really care about higher level items, because we want as many level 1 items as possible to increase our percent damage. I'm going to roll here, and Sharp Bullet, we actually don't want. The percent damage modifications does not apply to percent piercing damage. That's a different stat. So we would lose 20% piercing damage, and our weapon already has piercing, so we don't want to decrease our piercing even if we're gaining a little bit of percent damage. I think Alien Tongue and Helmet, these are both items that we want, so I'm going to take the Helmet, I'll lock the Alien Tongue, and then I'm going to reroll. Even though it's not a duplicate, of course, Gentle Alien is a great item, so we're going to go ahead and try to buy that, and then we will lock an Icicle. One thing that we don't have, because this is GMO, is we don't have the indicator telling us that we have a unique item for the Renegade, and the Renegade's buff only works for unique level 1 items, so we're going to have to keep track of what we've got, though it's not as important as when I was playing the Curious, because there you lose 10% damage. If you buy an accidental duplicate on the Renegade, you still get that item, and it just doesn't give you 2% more damage. Even though we buy damage at such a reduced rate, it's still good to buy any percent damage that we see in reasonable values, although I won't take the 8% here because I'm going to look for harvesting. Attack speed and elemental damage are also good, but I'm going to roll one more time looking for harvesting. Alright, I'll take 10 luck. And here, I'm going to take 5 harvesting over 5 crit chance, because that'll get me to 21 minimum. Because our percent damage is so highly negative, even though we're only going to get 1% damage when we buy this Gentle Alien, for example, it's still very valuable to do that, because every little bit counts when your damage is this negative. When you are buying a stat in this game, the lower that stat is, the more impactful buying it is. So when you have, with the exception of dodge, which gets more impactful when you have more dodge. So when you have more... when you have really low percent damage, like you do starting as the Renegade, buying any percent damage, even in very small amounts, can be very helpful. Alright, I triggered my Golem passive, and of course, we can't heal, so I need to pay attention to the fact that we cannot heal. Whoops. Which means not walking into those attacks. Making pretty good money this wave, so I'm feeling in good shape. I'm going to re-roll here. We have 20 luck. I feel like we can get a level 2 upgrade. And I'll roll one more time, and we'll take 5% crit chance. Of course, when you're using Icicle, it's a very high critical damage weapon. When you level it up to level 3 or higher, it gets an increased crit multiplier, and it's very nice to be able to use critical hit chance, of course, with that weapon. Lost Duck would cost me an elemental damage, but give me 2% damage and 8 luck. I think that is worth it for this build. We'll definitely take a fertilizer, and we will buy another icicle, and then we'll lock a boiling water, and reroll and lock another icicle. We've already got an alien tongue. I don't really need a second one, so I'm going to pass on that. The first one was okay. The extra pickup radius is not terrible, although it is significantly worse for this character, since a lot of the reason to buy pickup radius is to pick up consumable healing, which we can't do, of course. But we really wanted it just for the 2% damage, because it's a unique level 1 item for the Renegade. Oh, I should be taking damage on purpose. I forgot to do that at the start of this wave. So cost myself a little bit of clear speed there by not having the bonus move speed and attack speed this wave, because I didn't reduce my health on purpose as the Golem. In a couple waves, I'm going to stop doing that because it just becomes too dangerous to do, but in these early waves where you can pretty safely survive, it's usually correct to do that. We'll take 2 armor here, and then we'll buy an icicle, get a boiling water to boost the damage of our icicles, and then do a reroll here. Take a metal plate, and then roll again. Dynamite is a unique level 1 item, and although it does absolutely nothing for us otherwise, I am still just going to buy it. You still just want to buy most level 1 items that you see on this character that you don't have yet. It's, easy to see how impactful it is when your stats are low. So you start with minus 80% damage, meaning you're only doing 20% of your normal damage. That means that when you are the Renegade, you only need to increase your percent damage by 20% to do twice as much damage as you were doing before. A character that started at 0% damage would have had to get 100% damage in order to do that. So the Renegade gets these huge impacts from very small increases to the total percent damage that you're buying. Weird Ghost, you usually should not buy on the Golem. Although we don't mind starting at half health. This is just a little bit too risky, I think, going into wave 8. Although, you know what? I think I'm going to buy it just for fun. This is a run that is kind of easy, so I'm going to spice things up a little bit, and if we take a hit next wave, that will just be very funny. I'm going to take some attack speed that'll help us defend ourselves next wave, And do I want armor or crit chance? I think I'm going to reroll here, and I'm looking for more attack speed. Attack speed is really important, given that I took the given that I took the weird ghost to try to keep myself alive. And then we'll take a cyber ball. No, I don't think I need the cyber ball. Even with 28 luck, the damage from the cyber ball is just not going to be that important. On the other hand, the Frozen Heart is going to be really nice. That will increase our damage output dramatically. But would I rather have these 3 items? We've already got a helmet, but these 2 give us 4% damage between them. I think I do buy these 3, lock the Frozen Heart, and we'll buy it next wave, because then I can also potentially buy some other stuff. And yeah, I'll take a Gummy Berserker. It does cost me a lot of armor because we are the Golem, so we lose 1.3 armor for that. But again, 2% damage, and the range and attack speed are both going to help us stay alive next wave. So if the video ends here, then you know that I walked into the enemies and died. I'm kidding, of course. If I die here, I will just keep, I'll restart the run, but... Wave 8 is a slightly dangerous wave to try this on Abyssal Terrors too, because it has the Anglerfish, and these guys are hard to not take damage from. Trying to stay at maximum range from them so that I don't wake them up, especially that cursed one. You can attack them without waking them up, but if you get too close to them, then they do wake up. So when you need to avoid taking damage from something like that, staying at maximum range, they won't actually attack you. Knockback is also pretty good against the Anglerfish because it lets you damage them while staying at long distances. So you can stay away and kill them safely. Left some materials on the ground there. Obviously, the Weird Ghost was not like the optimal pickup, but it was fun. I got to play the one-hit challenge mode for that wave. We'll take 15 luck here, and then I'll take the Frozen Heart, and I'll do 1 reroll here. A leather vest we will take, because of course, armor and dodge are good. Missile, do I want this? So we would get 2% damage for minus 4% attack speed for 90. I think that's not worth it, because we can get 2% damage by buying any level 1 item, and those, of course, will usually not come with a penalty, like losing attack speed. Well, not any level 1 item, but level 1 items that we don't have yet. Would really love to level these icicles a little more. Icicle is an item, is a weapon that levels extremely well. It's one of the weapons that levels the best in the game. Gaining more damage, more attack speed, and more crit multiplier. And higher crit chance as well. So it just gains every stat, and every stat that it gains multiplies the effectiveness of the other stats that it gives you. As the Golem, of course, our main challenge is going to be the elites, because we will not be able to heal against them. And as the Renegade, single target damage can be a problem, so we're hoping that we will have enough damage at that point to be able to kill the elites without any danger. Take the Warrior Helmet here, but I will need some move speed. We're at minus 9 currently. So let's reroll. We'll take some crit chance, and then I guess we'll take 15 more luck. Here, I'll buy a landmines, again, a level 1 item that we don't have, and then we'll buy these items as well. We do want dodge on this character. Handcuffs is definitely worth buying, though I think I'm going to wait 1 wave, because I'm going to buy the Bean Teacher. The extra XP gain is going to be excellent, but the plus 8 elemental damage is going to vastly increase the damage of our weapons. And then, do I want another helmet? I probably do. We'll lock a tractor, and I'll do a reroll. I'll take a pearl as well. And then I definitely need to find some move speed, even if it's only like plus 3% move speed. We're going to need that before we fight the elite. We should, because we have this wave and next wave, we should hit level 15, and we should be able to just roll for a plus 9 move speed upgrade there. That still won't put us to positive move speed, so I'm still going to need another move speed upgrade on top of that, but that will get me back from our extreme deficit that we're at right now. Actually, I don't mind taking damage as a result of that, because the extra move speed will be very helpful to help farm this wave. Ouch. Taking that hit was a little dangerous, though. And Whetstone, of course, we don't need. It doesn't give us anything because we are the Golem. Do I take 3 speed here? We're going to hit level 15. Our next level will be level 15, but I think I'm going to reroll. I'll take 3 armor, and then now I have to roll for movement speed because we just have to get a +9 move speed upgrade here. And we're up to 74 max HP. I think that's fine to buy the handcuffs on, so I'll buy these. I guess I'll buy the other items and we'll wait one more wave on the handcuffs in order to get just a little bit more max HP. We already have a cake, but we need more max HP, so I will buy that. But I'm going to lock the boiling water and the cake and buy the icicle. I'm doing one reroll there just because there's a decent chance that we find another icicle, and I do want to level my weapons. We also have pretty good money at this point. Still looking for more move speed before the next wave as well. But one thing that is nice about the Golem is that if we take a couple hits from the Elite and go down below half health, we should be able to dodge the rest of the Elite's attacks more easily because we'll then have additional movement speed. And we'll end up with around 80 HP, which is very low for the Golem, but handcuffs are just so much additional damage for our build that we definitely have to buy them. Elemental damage is typically pretty hard to get. It's pretty valuable, and getting 8 of it at once is incredible. Oh, nice. The beanie is probably the best item we could have found, or one of them, because it gives us damage and then also move speed. And with 1 pearl, we got the 3% chance of hitting a pearl on our very first box. That's amazing. I'll take 9 HP because we're about to cap our HP, so might as well. We'll buy the cake, and then we will buy handcuffs and boiling water, and then we'll roll. And here I'm going to buy... Which of these do I want? I guess I want the mutation. That gives me 2% damage and an elemental damage, and that'll help me kill the elite just a little bit faster. Alright, where is it? So this is one of the harder elites not to take damage against. But at this point, our damage, because we got those handcuffs, our damage is so high that we were able to just obliterate the elite without having to worry about taking hits from it. Also, our armor's really good, so we weren't in too much danger there. That would have been a little sketchier if we hadn't bought the handcuffs, but since we had them and we've picked up a lot of other percent damage, or a lot of percent damage to get up to above minus 50%, the impact of buying flat damage like the handcuffs is still pretty good, especially on a weapon like this that gets critical hits all the time. We've managed to collect a decent amount of curse and haven't seen any cursed weapons or items. Oh, can we get the loot alien? Nice. Got it right before the end here. And let's see. Exoskeleton. Yeah, I'll definitely take this. This is exactly the type of thing we need. And the downsides are literally not downsides for this character. We'll take the goldfish. Ooh, do I want elemental damage or attack speed? We have 26 elemental damage, so attack speed it is. 7 crit chance. Our weapons are at 57% chance to crit, so 7 crit chance, still good for us. We'll take the Shady Potion and Duct Tape. Scarf. I do want more move speed, but nothing else that this gives us matters. So we're not going to spend 188 on 4% move speed. We already have an Alien Tongue, so we'll roll past that. Really nice to get a leveled up Icicle here. So I guess our Goldfish came in handy. Would have been better if it was a Cursed Icicle. Buying luck and items like Goldfish on the Renegade is sometimes a little counterproductive because it does make it harder to find level 1 items. And on the Golem, luck is a little lower value as well. So you could probably have done a version of this build where you didn't invest in luck at all. Because one of the big benefits of luck is that it makes you more likely to generate consumable healing, which obviously the Golem can't use. And the Renegade wants to find level 1 items, so having low luck isn't as bad for them either. I do think that luck is still just an incredible enough stat that it's worth investing in regardless, and we got our double pearls as well, which are giving us some much-needed percent damage, and will continue to generate value and give us more damage over the course of the run. So I'm happy that I built luck, but it would have been interesting to do a no luck or negative luck version of this character. Coil, we currently have -2 knockback, but I guess I'll take the coil anyways. We'll end up with more knockback because we're going to buy, if we see a boxing glove, we'll buy it. Here I'm going to take 6 move speed because my move speed is feeling a little bit low. And let's go ahead and combine, buy an icicle. Small magazine does cost me 1.2% damage, but gives me 10% attack speed. Is that worth it? Because our attack speed is pretty low, and icicle, one of the things that it does need is more attack speed, because it is a relatively slow attacking weapon, although, wow, I hadn't really realized that the level 4 icicle attacks that much faster than the level 3, a full 1/10 of a second faster, including our attack speed bonus, so the actual gap is bigger. That's really interesting. I think that I will buy the small magazine. I think attack speed just is so powerful for this character. And then we'll take a power generator. Ice Cube, of course, is going to be really good. And then we'll do a reroll. Silver Bullet is also going to be really good. We're really not finding level 1 items, though. The other thing is that having high luck does just make you find more level 1 items anyways, because you drop more crates. And then those crates are more likely to have level 1 items in them. So even if our shops have fewer level 1 items, we're just going to see more items. So we will end up with the same amount or more level 1 items anyways. With high luck. Oh, we can kill this tree. No crate from that tree, sadly. One thing I would like is a baby gecko. The materials that we're leaving on the ground, we're honestly leaving them too far away for the alien tongues that we passed to be good, but the baby gecko would be helpful for picking things up. Here, we'll take some crit chance, and then we'll grab Ice Cube, Power Generator, and we'll keep the Silver Bullet locked. Do another reroll here, and another one, and Terrified Onion is worth buying. Yes, it does cost me luck, but we still gain percent damage and more movement speed, which with the Power Generator also gives us percent damage, though the luck costs us percent damage because of the pearls. Do I reroll for 30 here? Probably not. Also, obviously, I should have done different prioritization there so that we could buy the Silver Bullet before the Elite Wave. Kind of ridiculous that that was the item that I locked. Definitely a mistake. I was not paying attention to what our next wave was, and if I had bought either of the other 2 items, or locked either of the other 2 items and bought the Silver Bullet, we'd have killed the Elite much more quickly. Not that we really needed much help with it, because our damage at this point is off the charts. Icicle's just such a sick single target damage weapon that even with like the Renegade's damage penalties and the fact that sometimes Renegade can struggle with single target DPS, Icicles just flatten everything. Short list for one of the best weapons in the game, for sure. Excuse me. Didn't manage to mute the sneeze in time. I'm going to recycle the heavy bullets here. We don't need the ranged damage, and losing the attack speed and crit chance I think is too bad to get 2% damage from. Lemonade we'll take just for 2% damage. Obviously doesn't do anything given in terms of healing. Do I want 6 dodge? I think we're just going to build... Yeah, we've got 30 armor, actually 31 armor, so... I'm pretty happy with where we're at in terms of defenses. I could mirror the Silver Bullet, and that would be pretty good. I'm going to buy the crown, and then I think I will try to mirror the Silver Bullet. So 165, That's 330, so we can do that this wave, and then we'll lock the blindfold. I wanted to make sure I could do that just so that I could get those items out of my shop and not have to carry them from shop to shop. Defective steroids I'm buying even though the HP doesn't matter, just because it gives us 2% damage, and that is worth losing 3% attack speed for. We could have lost 4% attack speed for 2% damage by buying a missile, but that would have cost us like 110. So the numbers are just a little bit different between the defective steroids and the missile, even though in practice they're doing kind of the same thing. It's the same trade-off of a small amount of damage for a small amount of attack speed. But in this case, the exchange rate is a little more favorable. Try to kill at least some of these curse aliens so we can boost our curse a little more. Cursed wheelbarrow, of course, is going to be nice given that we have the crown, and as always, you can't be the king of Brotato without it. So we're happy to see that one. Baby with a beard, I'm just going to recycle. The 8 damage is just not going to be relevant. I don't need the wheat because it will reduce my elemental damage. I guess I'll take 9 dodge here. We could end up building some dodge, so because we have a blindfold locked as well. Up to minus 31 damage there. Let's go ahead and combine and buy an icicle. Penguin, obviously we get no regeneration from, but 2% damage, still worth grabbing. Alien magic we have no need for because we're over HP cap anyways. Fertilizer at this point I don't think is worth picking up. So I'm just going to reroll all of those, but I will take a community support because attack speed still excellent, and we'll pick up an icicle as well. With double silver bullet, we should be able to take this elite out in, no time at all. Sub 10 seconds. I would love to get a really nice cursed item or some kind of cool legendary. Now, obviously, this run is pretty easy. We ended up with a very synergistic weapon and a very powerful character combination, but that is just sometimes the nature of random runs, is you're going to get ones that are really difficult or even impossible, and you're going to get ones that are easy sometimes, and that is... the cool thing about random runs is discovering which ones are which. Let's go ahead and reroll again. Or reroll again. Alright, I'll take 12% damage, which gives us, I guess, 2%. Giant belt, that'll help us kill the bosses even faster, which is pretty fun. So, I'll take the... Do I want the starfish? It certainly won't pay for itself, but it is kind of fun to take the starfish, so I'm gonna grab it anyways. And ritual we'll take just because it's cursed. Obviously, the lifesteal not useful, but we get a little more than 2% damage out of it, and for curse, which is... Curse is always good in and of itself as well. Tanking hits from all of the pufferfish there. Another crate. That crate could have a pearl in it. We got lucky once on pearls, but haven't seen any since then. Also haven't really seen any increased luck since we got 2 pearls, which of course we wouldn't mind additional luck as well. Okay, I did take a pretty big hit there, so I do need to be a little careful for the rest of this wave, because I still could die. Because I bought the starfish, I am in a little more danger. I am going to take the additional movement speed. Garden, I would spend 40 on just 3 curse, so even though the garden itself is not useful, we're going to do that. I'll take some elemental damage, and then here we're going to buy the community support. We don't need the giant belt yet, so I could buy one of these other 2 items first, but I think I'm just going to buy it and then open up some room in the shop, and we'll lock another icicle level. Honestly, the starfish is probably not that far from paying for itself anyways, even though we spent 220 on it, because these later waves, enemies have a much lower chance of dropping materials when you kill them. And so in a similar vein as increasing your percent damage when you have low percent damage is very impactful, increasing enemy drop rates when you have low enemy drop rates is very impactful and increases your overall income by a significant proportion. So, starfish, when you get it late, is going to be more useful for the waves that you have it than when you get it early. Although, obviously, you'd prefer to get it early because you still get value from those earlier waves. But it's most impactful in later waves. And yeah, so we made 1,000 materials there. We probably would not have done that without the starfish. I'll take a mirror. I'm not sure what I'm going to mirror, but it'll be something fun. And then let's go ahead and just grab some attack speed. I could take the dodge there, but I think I'm not doing that. How's our crit chance? Yeah, I still need a little more critical hit chance. And honestly, I'm just going to mirror the insanity. It's a kind of odd thing to mirror, but we do get... That'll just put us to... almost guaranteed critical hits on every single attack with our level 4s, and it gets us a little closer with all our other weapons, which is very important. I'll take the duct tape. We already have one, so we don't get any percent damage, but it's still good. We attack way faster than the ball and chain, so we're not taking that for sure. Bat, we don't have one, so we'll take that for 2 damage, and then we'll roll, buy an icicle. Alien worm, I don't have one, so we'll buy 2 more damage there. We now have a bat, so I'm not going to buy another one. Head injury, I don't have one, and it comes with its own percent damage, so we'll buy that, and then we will do a couple more rerolls just for fun. The toxic sludge would have been nice, but nothing else was really exciting here, so we didn't miss out on that much. Let's see how quickly we kill the bosses. I'm going to guess the answer is very quickly. And again, for both of them, sub 10 seconds. So that's why Icicle is just so ridiculously good. It just chews through boss enemies like that. Let's take a look at our items here. So we ended up with a couple duplicate level 1s, things like helmets and gentle aliens that you're just always happy to duplicate. But mostly we just got good early economy items. Like, this run was very smooth, in part because this is a very strong character weapon combination and a strong character combination, but also because we got 2 early gentle aliens. So we just made 10% more money over the course of the run just because of these, and that is always incredibly strong. We had an early fertilizer, so we finished with 259 harvesting. What else did we get? We had fun with the weird ghost, which obviously cost me some money in the wave I bought it, but was still enjoyable. And Bean Teacher helped me get to level 26, so really solid economy boost there. The tractor worked really nicely because we later found a crown, and well, both because it's just a great item, and then also because we later found a crown. And we ended up with 72 extra harvesting from the crown, which then itself grew our harvesting more, and so on. Power generator finished with 26% damage, which is, I guess, about 5.2% after the reduction, but 5.2, again, when our damage is negative, power generator's pretty good. Well, only 4.2, because it gives you -1 damage from the -5. What else? No other economy items, really. The giant belt did help us kill the elites just a little faster, doing 35k damage. Compare that to the 19k that each of our weapons did, and you can see the giant's belt was a real contributor there when you have high critical hit chance. Alright, my friends, hope you've enjoyed this run. This was just a nice, clean run with a really fun and very solid character weapon combo. If you're looking for just a very relaxing run, this is definitely one of them, so I would recommend that. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.